Okay, one issue we were having with the van is accessing everything underneath. So what we did is we cut these holes, cut these off, and made these guys. So now we can access all the way to the rear, all the way to the front. There's a little bit of reinforcement here to handle the missing wood from the frame. Another one over there, and there's a center beam that runs all the way to the front of this piece. So now we can easily access the storage from here if we need to on both sides. So now we can do that without getting out of the car, especially when it's cold outside. That's one of the major updates. We also added this frame area on the top here. And this is going to be so that we can put either a aquarium, a terrarium, a snake enclosure up there, or a microwave or something, and have it be so that if I hit the brakes, it will stop against this. And I might just put a whole wood finish over there so that it is more solid and reinforced. Another cross beam over there to reinforce it even more. One of the major things that I tried to do with all of this build, especially this piece of wood right here, is to answer the question, what would happen if I slammed on the brakes? And the last thing you want to do is have all these plates and things fly up to the front and hit you on the back of the head. So in order to be a more safe vehicle, we wanted to build it in a way so that if we go through turns or hit the brake hard or, God forbid, run into anything, that the objects won't go flying. So keep that in mind for your build. What would happen if you slammed on the brakes really hard? Is everything secure where it is? All right. Something I picked up at Goodwill, this magnetic screen. We got that for $6.99 from Goodwill, magnetic screen. And basically we did the same thing with this as we did for the bug netting, but we wanted something better. We have the Velcro pieces here, and we just stick this to those pieces just like that. Okay, around the van. And now we have a bug netting that you can open whenever you want, and it'll automatically snap shut whenever we go in and out. So it makes it very easy to enter and exit the van. Not bad for $7. We also are taking off this panel and installing this switch here. And this pops right off still. I didn't hook up the wiring to it. But what this is for is to connect the ground wire of the battery isolator. And per the instructions of the battery doctor, it says if you want to disable it, you just remove the ground wire and the battery isolator turns itself off. And I believe what was happening is that there was a charge that was draining the main battery. So I wanted to just make sure that I isolate and remove all current flow from that with the switch. Turn it on when the secondary battery right down here is low. Flip the switch, go driving a bit, and then turn it off whenever it's not in use. Of course, the solar panel, we're going to test out to see how good that is the next time we go out. And maybe we don't even need the isolator at all, but it's a good secondary backup just in case. So we're going to connect a ground wire to that and ground it somewhere else so that we can turn the isolator on and off. Okay, what we did here is we took those pool noodles, cut a slit down one side and used it as padding underneath here. Then we took a ratchet strap, we went around twice in an X and then ratcheted it down on both sides, and that installs it on top of the roof like that. And there is water in here. Did I install enough water in there? Yeah, see? There's water in there. So it's not pressurized at all, but just to show you that there is a little bit, because I wanted to test if it worked and made sure none of the seals leak from before. Now I also put in these racks which will hold the solar panel. And what we did is we took 2x2s and used the ratchet strap to ratchet it down. We put a bunch of loops on this side, went back around, looped it in, loops on that side, loops on that side, back around, and as it compresses, it actually makes these tighter, and there's no way for it to compress anymore. And this is locked in very secure here on both sides. And that's what we did. Then we got the metal base bars that would go bolted into your roof, and we just screwed them into the 2x2s, and these will hold this in place. And what this does is this will allow the solar panel to lift up this way and be at an angle to wherever we want it if the sun is not directly overhead. And so we can point it toward the sun, and that should help with the output for the solar panel later. We went in here and we wired up the solar charge controller so we can see it. All we need is to hook in the solar panel to that, and we're ready to go for solar.